Here's more wrestling news for September 26, 2022. And we're starting off this afternoon with Teddy Long, who was far from his fun-loving self over the weekend, according to his actions on Twitter. On the site, Long blocked countless accounts from people in wrestling and gave no explanation behind his actions. Now, the former SmackDown general manager has explained his actions on his account, saying in a video that he was hacked. Long speculated that whoever hacked his account may have been someone that he blocked and was looking for some petty revenge, and said he doesn't want people to be mad at him. We hope whoever hacked his account gets apprehended and such an incident never happens again, but thankfully Long seems to have regained control over his account. On October 8th, WWE will go extreme for their annual Extreme Rules show, which doesn't have many matches confirmed yet. In fact, only 3 matches have been confirmed so far: Livv Morgan vs. Ronda Rousey, Matt Riddle vs. Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre vs. Karrion Kross, but that will soon change. According to a report from Zero News, the plan is for there to be 6 or 7 matches, but fans who hope to see the Usos or Gunther are out of luck. Zero reported that there will be no tag titles or intercontinental title defense, but WWE is still looking at the possibility of a United States title defense from Bobby Lashley. It's not surprising to read that there won't be an IC title match, as the championship is set to be defended on the October 7th SmackDown, one day before Extreme Rules. Zero added that the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair is set to defend against Bayley, but this will be a ladder match. Not only that, but Edge will also be making his return after being laid out by the Judgment Day and will face Finn Balor in an I Quit match. With AEW having some shaky times as of late, this is the perfect time for WWE to capitalize, reportedly with an absolutely stacked Extreme Rules Premium Live event next month. When Tony Khan was looking for talent to sign to his new AEW promotion in 2019, Brandi Rhodes insisted that the first woman signed should be Britt Baker, who has been with the company ever since. We previously reported that there has been legit issues between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, and now there's been an update to that story. Speaking on the Wrestling Informer show, Brad Shepard claimed that while Rosa has some heat in the company, Baker is the real problem, but that Tony Khan is unlikely to do anything. So I've been hearing about Britt Baker and her locker room behavior with the women, and a lot of the women in AEW don't like her. She's very rude, she's backstabbing, she's doing the political game. So she was just rude to everybody and had a lot of heat amongst the women in the AEW locker room. They at one point had gone to Tony Khan complaining about Britt Baker, and he basically sided with Britt Baker. One of her biggest deals has been her sort of real-life dislike of Thunder Rosa. That's a very real thing. Thunder Rosa has been off, and if you only believe it's because of a back injury, then I got some oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you. There are a lot of problems with Britt Baker in AEW, and a lot of people are puzzled by the push of Britt Baker, what they are doing versus what they are doing with Thunder Rosa. They have actually gone out of their way to make her look pretty weak and pretty bad. There is a lot of drama in the women's locker room, and a lot of it stems around Britt Baker. It appears that Britt Baker has a lot of political sway in AEW, and when she said during a recent AEW social exclusive that there's no room for Saraya in the company, those words may have been more than just how her character feels. For the past 335 days, Mandy Rose has dominated NXT as the women's champion, dispatching of all opponents with the aid of Toxic Attraction. Next month, Rose will reach a full year as champion, but her time with the title may be coming to an end. Zero News reports that the current plan is for Toxic Attraction as a group to be called up to the main roster, which would include Rose returning after being sent to NXT last year. Not only that, but Rose is due to drop the NXT Women's Championship before Survivor Series, as there's been a pitch for Toxic Attraction to compete in War Games. Since dropping the NXT tag titles, Gigi Dolan and Jacy Jayne have had a handful of appearances on the main roster and had been part of the recent WWE Women's Tag Team title tournament before being pulled. If Rose's reign does end by Survivor Series, she'll have the third longest reign of all time before Shayna Baszler and Asuka, and we'll have to see how dominant the group is should they compete in War Games. Now, last weekend, CJ Perry, aka Lana, shared an image with some friends, including SmackDown Women's Champion Livv Morgan, but the image got fans talking with who else was there. Not only was Morgan in the photo, but AEW's MJF was also present in a rare photographed meetup of WWE and AEW talent. As you'd expect, fans were quick to speculate on what this photo could mean, with some joking that Morgan was working under orders from Triple H to try and coax the salt of the earth to WWE. Others said that CJ Perry is the real Forbidden Door, as she has ties to both WWE, where she worked, and AEW, where her husband Miro works, and that this crossover wouldn't have happened without the former Lana. MJF has never shied away from the idea of signing with WWE when his AEW contract expires in January 2024, and with this image, there's going to be plenty more speculation about whether Morgan and MJF could one day be working for the same company. MJF is teased leaving AEW for WWE, but several stars have gone one step further and actually left Tony Khan's promotion. Yesterday, Buddy Matthews announced that he will be taking a hiatus from wrestling, which will mean he won't be competing for AEW for the time being. Matthews' departure is notable considering he was only brought into AEW in February this year, but the past 7 months haven't exactly set the world on fire. Since debuting, Matthews worked exclusively with the House of Black, but has not even come close to holding gold in the company, nor did he even have one title opportunity. Matthews' departure comes mere weeks after Malachi Black left AEW, and at the time, the Dutchman told Tony Khan that he was thinking about taking a permanent break from the ring. This may have been a stretch, as Black has since wrestled outside AEW and has expressed interest in a WWE return, telling sources that he regrets not being in the company. A WWE return would allow Black to spend more time with his wife Zelina Vega, so all signs are pointing to a comeback. With Black and Matthews now gone, the big question is who could be next to leave, and two wrestlers could follow the trend of ex-superstars departing AEW. Miro has been with the company for 2 years now, but except for one brief reign as TNT champion, has held no gold with the company. Miro has also been the victim of very stop-start booking, and while he was part of the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament at Full Gear 2021, that was only because he replaced Jon Moxley. Not only that, but Miro was never considered a likely person to win the tournament, and has even expressed a desire to leave, liking a tweet saying he could do so much better in WWE. Even all these years later, Miro's time as Rusev and the Rusev Day angle made him one of WWE's most popular stars for a time, earning ovations that haven't been matched in AEW. Andrade El Idolo could also be next to leave as, like Miro, he too has expressed support for the idea that he would be doing better in WWE. Like Malachi Black, leaving AEW for WWE would allow Andrade to spend more time with his wife, Charlotte Flair, who's expected to return to WWE soon after not being seen since WrestleMania Backlash. Despite coming in with a ton of hype, Andrade's booking in AEW has left a lot to be desired, and while Miro's TNT title reign may be a distant memory, that's still one title reign more than El Idolo. With conflict backstage, WWE's product improving, and feelers being sent to AEW, Tony Khan may be on the cusp of another ex-superstar leaving soon, in what will be yet another blow to the AEW president. Each year, Impact Wrestling announces a new member to their Hall of Fame, which already includes legends like Sting, Kurt Angle, and Ken Shamrock. Over the weekend, Impact announced who will be the next to join this illustrious group, and that wrestler is Raven. Raven's induction was confirmed during the recent Victory Road event, and the wrestling veteran will have his actual induction during the Bound for Glory pay-per-view on October 7th. Raven had 2 stints with Impact, the first from 2003 to 2007, during which he became the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and later returned from 2009 before leaving in 2010. After a lengthy career in Impact, WWE, ECW, and WCW, Raven has accomplished many accolades, but soon the man from the Bowery will be able to call himself an Impact Wrestling Hall of Famer. In 2018, EC3 returned to WWE years after Derek Bateman had been released, and after establishing himself as a top star in Impact Wrestling. Despite an impressive, though titleless run in NXT, EC3's main roster call-up was a complete dud, and he was rarely given a chance to flex his promo skills. Speaking on shooting from the hip, EC3 spoke about his time on the main roster and how little focus Vince McMahon gave promos. "I don't think Vince watched for over 30 seconds to a minute. He saw one promo I did, it was coolish and awesome. Vince saw it once, and he was like, no, this guy needs to be a weatherman. He can't talk with much enthusiasm. Actually, he shouldn't even talk. Nobody even said, "Hey Vince, he's actually a decent enough speaker." EC3's career with WWE ended for the second time in 2020, with just a handful of brief 24/7 championships to his name, but we can't help but wonder how things could have been different if someone had spoken up to the then chairman of the company. In April, Ezekiel made his WWE debut and quickly engaged in a rivalry with Kevin Owens. Owens tried and failed to convince fans that Ezekiel was actually Elias, insisting that the two brothers were one and the same, but now Elias is on his way back. It was reported not too long ago that Ezekiel had been removed from WWE's internal roster and that Elias has been re-added to the roster, and now there's been an update. In his report, Dave Meltzer states that the plan is for Elias to return to WWE TV once he grows his beard back, though gave no explanation as to why he cut his beard in the first place. If anything, cutting his beard would have made Elias look like his brother, so we can't possibly imagine why the former 24/7 champion would do such a thing. Elias did appear alongside his brother, but that was several months ago, and how soon his return happens is all up to his facial hair. And we're ending today with Tamilian Vineesh, who had some strong accusations this month about CM Punk. In a live stream, the former AEW Dark Star said that Punk is a racist piece of shit and claimed that he had faced discrimination backstage in the promotion. Now Vineesh has given more about his comments, as while he's seemingly sticking by his claims, he isn't happy they were shared online. Speaking to Sportskeeda, Vineesh explained that the video was recorded from his live stream without his consent and that he never gave permission for it to be shared online. He added that though he stands by what he said, the person who posted the video did not do so with good intentions. Vineesh's story has faced some skepticism from fans, who have pointed out that his last match with AEW Dark came months before Punk would make his debut for AEW. Tamilian Vineesh is sticking by his claims about CM Punk, who is currently off AEW TV, and while he didn't intend the comments to go viral, he truly believes what he is claiming about the former world champion. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.